thank you, Your Worship. These major decisions that will impact our community for decades to come require comprehensive deliberation. So please bear with me as I speak to this agenda item in considerable detail, and understanding that many of the individuals that were working on this are no longer in the employ of the municipality. This agenda item is very interesting. Our mayor and deputy mayor are on public record saying that the site selection for the casino related to the 5 previously approved sites is totally up to Gateway, that the municipality has no role to play in the selection. It would appear that the addition of the 5th site by the last council and the discussions of incentives combined with background point number 2, which reads, the operator and OLG are required to work closely with council regarding the location, would render those comments inaccurate. And in fact, the previous council was working with Gateway to influence a specific site. As for this information not having come before council, you will recall that the awarding of the casino to Wasaga Beach was announced close to the election, and while council was in lame duck, and I believe our CAO referred to that, he was aware that this MOU could only come forward to the new council, so it wouldn't have come forward to the previous council. A full update of the master plan has been recommended by myself on more than one occasion, and to date has not been scheduled. Now we are rushing to eliminate possible incentives and obviously making Beach 1 a very undesirable location. Prior to this group of independent thinkers receiving all of the information required to make an informed decision. A full master plan update, including the following topics: provide council with an overview of the master plan and strategy behind it so we're all starting from the same place. Walk through the specifics of Fran deal and explain the opportunity before council. Explain in detail discussions with Gateway and present the MOU. This would include the strategy behind it, the detailed financials, and recommended next steps for consideration. Detailed overview of the hub, including an overview of the potential Park Ridge partnership opportunity, as well as the opportunity via high school and provincial funding, was on the December 13th coordinated committee agenda, but was removed by our interim CAO, Jerry Marshall, at the request of Mayor Nina Bifulci. Important to note that the previous mayor, that is Cal Patterson, Brian Smith, preliminary discussion with Gateway regarding Beach 1 ceased once we went into lame duck. After that, it was handled by staff. And that was Director of Economic Development and our interim CAO. As per the incentives and the associated costs listed, the information in this report I believe to be inaccurate and somewhat misleading. In one of my first meetings with then Deputy Mayor Nina Bifulci, she expressed concern that Mayor Brian Smith had not given enough consideration to the Blue Beach project that had been supported by the previous council. FORC was provided all information to the Blue Beach plan, which included a public parking structure. With or without a casino, the redevelopment on Beach 1 will very likely require a parking structure, some underground parking, as well as surface parking. This is also the case for the upgrading of the required electrical capacity. So in other words, if we were ever to get a hotel on our beach, that same expenditure would occur. As for the cost of acquiring private property, you will note on page 2 that the illustrated possible site plan was created by Gateway. To avoid these costs, a proposed plan suggestion, what in the works, was to move the casino to the west so that it was entirely located on town-owned land. Again, this information would have been included in the master plan update had it gone forward as scheduled. Important to note that the best individual to provide this update was Andrew McNeil, our Director of Economic Development, who was involved in every aspect of the master plan, but is no longer employed by the town. As indicated earlier, Gateway had made it known that their interest was related to only two sites, Highway 26 roundabout and Beach 1. Discouraging or eliminating Beach 1 moves Gateway to choose the roundabout unless council works to have Gateway choose the Waterworld site, which generates far more economic benefit for Wasaga Beach. In reviewing the Beach 1 location, it is also important to note that the estimated $20 million building becomes an asset to the town in a long lease, not mentioned in our CA's report, and we renegotiate after 20 years the lease, but retain the asset. This was an important omission, I thought. In summary, in my opinion, it is not responsible if this council continues to make major decisions impacting the long-term economic viability of our town without a full and comprehensive update of the master plan, including financials, impacts on taxation, net economic benefit, and the economic impact related to the top 3 sites chosen. And also to include investment strategies that minimize the impact on taxation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Is there any other comments before I move on?
Sorry.
Thank you. I'll start by